Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories.
We are offering a reward of up to 100,000 to any person who can provide information that can lead to arrest and conviction.
A manhunt continues for the suspects who shot and killed 4 people at the Ekurhuleni taxi rank in Cape Town.
The National Director is not the problem at the NPA. It's not a one-man job or a one-woman job.
The DA says it will not support the removal of National Director of Public Prosecution, Advocate Shamila Batohi, from office.
We're all devastated looking at how we can best mourn our leader.
Tributes continue to pour in following the passing of the former Zambian president, Edgar Lungu. Primetime coverage and breaking news. Welcome to the Friday edition of Prime News on 3. I am Becky Mutumomolete and I'll be bringing you this week's biggest stories and final updates. Let's take a look. Police have launched a manhunt for the suspect who shot and killed 4 people at the Ekurhuleni taxi rank in Cape Town this morning. 3 others were wounded, and police say high-caliber firearms were used in the ambush, but no suspects have been arrested thus far.
Police say the shooting incident could be taxi-related. The 3 injured people, which include 1 commuter, were rushed to the hospital.
This investigation has been taken over by Serious Violent Crime Investigation, the Counter Taxi Violence Unit, and also we are offering a reward of up to 100,000 to any person who can provide information that can lead to arrest and conviction of anyone that is responsible.
Authorities have condemned the incident.
Our community is not supposed to be see what's happening with killings and how people is just murdered right and center. So that is very bad for me, and I know that SABC will pull out all the stops to arrest the perpetrators.
Taxi umbrella body Santaco has called on taxi associations in the Western Cape to refrain from escalating the violence.
Santaco will be meeting with the relevant taxi associations to establish a full account of the events and determine how we can assist in restoring stability and preventing further conflict.
Corbin August, SABC News, Cape Town.
The DA says it will not support the removal of National Director of Public Prosecution, Advocate Shamila Batohi, from office. The party's justice spokesperson, Linus Breitenbach, addressed the media and Parliament on the National Prosecuting Authority's failures in priority crimes and state capture cases.
A string of losses in high-profile cases, the acquittal of Timothy Omotoso on rape charges, an unlawful extradition process of Morwadi Cholota from the US, the Fred Dairy Farm corruption case was struck off the roll, and the delay in the extradition process for the Gupta brothers. These are just a few cases that have created public discontent and a waning public confidence in the NPA. While there have been calls for Batohi to resign from some lawmakers, the DA says it would not support that call.
We certainly wouldn't table such a motion, and we would certainly not support it. The National Director is not the problem at the NPA. It's not a one-man job or a one-woman job.
Speaking to Mourning Live, Batohi strongly denied that the NPA was bungling cases and there was a crisis.
We will pick on a few cases which I've called red herrings, but I hasten to add, I don't want to minimize the importance of those cases. They are very important and they've been major setbacks that we're dealing with. But you cannot pick less than a dozen cases and then say there's a crisis in the NPA.
Also alluded to some challenges, including a decreasing inadequate budget and the need to attract highly specialized skills to prosecute complex cases.
We are having internal challenges where some prosecutors may not be aligned to the vision of really fighting for the rule of law in this country. And this is a very, very concerning issue.
The NPA says its ongoing reforms will ensure it's effective and there is consequence management for wrongdoing. That's as Batohi prepares to retire in January next year. Ekurhuleni Philip, SABC News, Parliament.
The death of award-winning actor Presley Chweneyagae has left his friends, family and industry colleagues in shock. The 40-year-old passed away at his home in Pretoria last week after a short illness. He was affectionately known to his fans as Cobra or Kobrizi Wali Easy. His funeral service is expected to take place in Pretoria tomorrow morning.
The entertainment industry is still mourning one of its own. Presley Chweneyagae got his breakthrough when he played the leading role in the 2005 award-winning movie Tsotsi. He also featured in multiple local television dramas such as Zama Zama, Inamba Namba and the recent telenovela The River, where he was known for his hilarious role as Cobra. He has been described as an actor who was not afraid to make the words on the script his own.
Presley set that screen on fire. Yes, I will admit, the question that people always wonder, did we write most of the words? No, we didn't.
The man responsible for Chweneyagae's unforgettable big screen debut says he is pleased to have given Chweneyagae a platform.
Presley didn't perform for the camera. Rather, he just allowed us to witness what he was genuinely grappling with, struggling to find the soul of this young man that he was bringing to life. And in doing that, he gave Tsotsi a soul. He gave Tsotsi his soul.
Chweneyagae's family has thanked the South Africans for their prayers and support following their loss. Chweneyagae's funeral service is expected to take place on Saturday at Acacia Community Hall in Pretoria, with his remains being laid to rest at the Zandfontein Cemetery. Puselitso Mokwena, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Deputy President Paul Mashatile has launched the Clean Cities and Towns campaign in Gauteng today, highlighting the importance of safeguarding the sustainability of the initiative. Mashatile added that the campaign can create employment opportunities for communities.
Some of these projects create employment for communities, and I think it's important that we must make sure that we safeguard their sustainability. I think that the deterioration was really unfortunate, but we will fix.
Charlotte Matleke House.
Yes, Charlotte Matleke House, there's a foundation now that want to turn it into a very lovely development. They are constrained by people who are staying in the yard. We have agreed with the mayor. The mayor, in fact, kept asking them, how many are these people? They said 14 families. So the mayor said, if they qualify for subsidy houses, the city can move them so that we clear the space for development. So we are going to get people dedicated to working with the foundation.
Thank you for staying with us. Tributes continue to pour in following the passing of the former Zambian president Edgar Lungu. Lungu died in a hospital in Pretoria yesterday after receiving medical treatment. President Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africans are standing by the people of Zambia in this difficult moment. While Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema has appealed to Zambians to come together as one nation despite political affiliation to honor Lungu's life.
I promise to serve you even better if you vote for me.
Lungu's passing has triggered a number of condolences from far and wide. African leaders have praised him. President Ramaphosa has offered his condolences to Lungu's family and to the nation and government of Zambia, while political parties also expressed their sadness at his passing.
The NC conveys its sincere condolences to the people of Zambia, another home of the African National Congress over years, on the loss and the passing on of former president of Zambia, Edgar Lungu.
I'm just from a meeting and we're all devastated, looking at how we can best mourn our leader.
Kenyan President William Ruto says Lungu was a progressive and outstanding leader who served the people of Zambia with zeal and commitment. His Tanzanian counterpart, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, has also extended their heartfelt condolences to Hichilema. Lungu was being treated at a medical center in Pretoria. He was Zambia's 6th president and held the office from 2015 to 2021 when he lost an election to Hichilema. Kylie Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The disappearance of 19-year-old Kamokhelo Baukudi has sparked safety concerns around Bloemfontein in the Free State. Baukudi was allegedly kidnapped by 2 men driving a bakkie purporting to be police officers. It's reported that the suspect's bakkie was fitted with blue lights on the grille and what looked like a police radio inside.
Kamokhelo Baukudi's disappearance comes as a shock after the brutal killing of Olurato Mongale. On the day of his abduction, Baukudi was fetched by his driver from Marti du Plessis School. The two were later stopped by 2 men in a bakkie pretending to be police officers. Baukudi's driver, Daniel Malibazo, told the police that the 2 unknown men informed them that their car was suspected of delivering drugs.
Daniel alleges that he went in between the Suzuki he was driving and the Toyota Hilux, and he never saw it again. He recalls that one of the suspects was speaking Sesotho fluently and even mentioned the name Tipe.
The Free State Education Department has expressed shock and says they are providing psychosocial support to learners and teachers at Baukudi's school.
So we have also issued a psychosocial support to our learners who might need that support, also to our teachers, and we're hoping that in due course we'll get this learner and his whereabouts.
The EFF has called on the community of Bloemfontein to stand up against criminality.
We're also calling on community at large to really help this family. You might think this thing is far away from you. Tomorrow it might be you. It's high time as a community, as parents, everyone, political parties, everyone who must stand together and fight this thing before it goes out of control.
This is the bridge where 2 cell phones belonging to Kamokhelo Baukudi and the driver were found. A case of kidnapping and impersonating police has been opened. Police continue with the search. Aphumelele Mdlalane, SABC News, Bloemfontein.
Lukhanyo Calata, son of the late Fort Calata, concluded his testimony in the Gqeberha High Court for the inquest into the deaths of the Cradock Four. The inquest, which started on Monday, saw former anti-apartheid activist Professor Derek Swartz and Calata offer searing testimony about the years leading up to Matthew Goniwe, Fort Calata, Spero Mkhonto and Sicelo Mahlauli's deaths.
It was another day of high emotions as the testimony of Lukhanyo Calata continued. He spoke on how, after 3 inquests, they still don't have any real answers. He says the brutal manner in which the Cradock Four were killed was probably a ploy to make it look as if the deaths were unrelated.
Family means a lot to Afrikaners, to English people, and that their whole lives center around family and the importance of family. So what I could never understand is that if this community places so much value and emphasis on family, Why was it so easy for them to just tear our families apart?
Autopsy evidence showed that Goniwe Mhlauli died from multiple stab wounds, Kalata from a stab wound to the heart, and Mkonto had a gunshot to the head and a stab wound in the heart. Lucanio further testified on why he thought his father and associates were killed in the manner they were.
Basically, the whole system of apartheid had made us out as black people to be less than human beings. We were something that we were subhuman, basically.
At the time of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, 49 people were suspected to be involved in the killing of the Cradock Four. To date, only 7 are alive, all ranging from the ages of 75 to 88. Kim Daniels, SABC News, Gqeberha.
The city of Ekurhuleni has vowed to recover funds lost to a contractor tasked with building the metro's headquarters. Mayor Nkosindiphile Chagaza says the city has not received value for money from the project. Commissioned in 2017 with a budget of 145 million, the cost has since escalated to 272 million with very little progress.
City of Ekurhuleni Mayor Nkosindiphile Chagaza says a building meant to house department staff has turned into a white elephant. The building has been under construction since 2017 and remains unfinished despite the city spending over 200 million rand on the project. Chagaza has bemoaned that payments to the contractors were processed despite a lack of progress on the project.
This forensic has revealed a shocking financial impact of over 272 million rands in irregularities, in unauthorized spending, in fruitless and wasteful expenditure, and inventory losses, which includes misrepresentation of project deliverables and approval of variation orders exceeding the 20% threshold.
According to the mayor, the matter will be handed over to the SABC and the Special Investigating Unit for further investigations. The Democratic Alliance wants to know who authorized the payments and subsequently who benefited.
Officials must be held accountable and residents must see justice served. The people of Ekurhuleni are not only victims of a failed service delivery, but also a government that treats their money as a personal piggy bank.
Balentle Mthethwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. The embattled Limpopo government-owned bus company has suspended its executives following allegations of mismanagement at the company. Great North Transport has put its chief executive officer, the chief financial officer, and the chief operations officer on a paid 3-month special leave.
GNT over the past few years to date has been experiencing a lot of financial or cash flow challenges that led to some of the statutory obligations not being paid. I'll give you an example. Things like your medical aid, things like your pension funds, etc., etc. So the board of Great North Transport decided to put these 3 executives on suspension.
And in the sports zone, examination season has started for matriculants in South Africa. And amongst those writing is the young football star, Lazola Maku. The 18-year-old learner from Noordwijk Secondary in Midrand played an integral part in Raymond Mdaka's team when Amajita claimed their first Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations title in Egypt last month. He played 90 minutes in all the games and won Man of the Match award against Zambia.
Last month, the spotlight was fully on the star in the making, Lazola Maku, when he showcased his incredible talent on the continental stage. He was one of Mdaka's trusted soldiers, playing every minute of every match at the AFCON tournament. The midfield maestro won a gold medal and a spot in the best 11 of the tournament. But now it is back to reality for the grade 12 learner who has just started writing his exams.
At first it was a challenge because
I mean, like, I'm 18 years old, so it's gonna be a challenge, like managing school and football. But obviously, I have mentors who like tells me every day on how I should like manage my schoolwork and football.
His friend and a classmate at school, Nikiwa Mabunda, says he's motivated by Maku's work ethic and dedication.
On the pitch is a man. He's dedicated, he works hard, he's ethical, he's practical, he's punctual. A lot of words can describe what I learn from him on a daily basis.
While it's head and study for now, there's another major tournament on the horizon this rising football star can look forward to. Amajita have secured a spot in the Under-20 World Cup to be played in September. The same month, Maku will be writing preliminary exams, and striking a fine balance between education and football is crucial in the development of a well-rounded young professional. Mahudi Mulapo, SABC News in Noordwijk, Johannesburg.
The atmospheric conditions are ripe for an insightful forecast to help you plan for the weekend ahead. Get ready for an update from our team coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the Weather Desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country now. We're still talking about the cold front that is expected to affect the weather over the country now. The cold front associated with the cut-off low is expected over the Western Cape on Saturday, causing some heavy rainfall, which will lead to flooding and also strong to gale force wind as we move towards the coast and very rough seas. And also we do expect some strong winds and as we move towards the interior, especially as we move towards the Western Cape and Eastern Cape from Saturday stretching on towards Tuesday. Now on Sunday and Monday, we do expect the cold front to move across the country, to move towards the central parts, bringing bitter cold daytime temperatures and also freezing conditions overnight, especially over Free State as we move towards the Eastern Cape, places such as Maletswai, that is we're expecting freezing conditions with those snowfalls that is expected, as we're expecting the freezing level to drop because of those two systems. And also we do expect some severe thunderstorm, with those severe thunderstorm with possibilities of damaging hail and also damaging winds over those areas. And also, as I said, significant dramatic drop in daytime temperatures over most of the country because of the cut-off low that is expected over South Africa. But for tonight, we're only expecting some isolated showers and rain over the central parts of the country. And also, we do expect some drizzle as we move towards Cape Town for tonight. Ahead of that cold front, some tight gradients. As a result, we're expecting strong winds with wind speed of up to 55 kilometers per hour, can gust up to 65 kilometers per hour for tonight and also for tomorrow. That cold front expected over Cape Town for tomorrow, causing an 80% chance of showers and rain over that coast, stretching into the interior for tomorrow. For tonight, it is just a level 1 warning of damaging winds, but for tomorrow, we have up to level 4 warning of disruptive rainfall that will lead to flooding over Cape Town and surrounding areas, and also a level 2 warning of some damaging winds and waves as we move towards the coast, which will make it difficult to navigate at sea. And moving into that interior of the Eastern Cape, because of a coastal low, we do expect a level 2 warning of some damaging winds over that interior. For tonight, it is freezing over Sandland with a low of 0.9, over Bloemfontein 6 will be your minimum, over Polokwane. For tomorrow, it is quite a cool day over Bethlehem with a high of 19, 20 over Johannesburg. Warm conditions over Musina with a high of 26, the mother city peaking at 50. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
And that's how we wrap up our news bulletin this evening. We wish you a splendid weekend ahead. From myself, Becky, and the Prime News team, stay ahead, stay inspired, and most importantly, stay warm. Good night.